Today we're going to scrap out a couple water heaters. This is a nice one right here. It's got some nice copper and brass on there. These would probably be red brass. That's probably yellow. But the difference between these two is this one is from one of the plumbers that I pick up from the shop. This one, he brings them home and I go to his house and pick them up because he lives in town. So he leaves the copper on. But like this one, when you actually pick them up from the shop, depends on who's doing the job. See, there's no copper on here. But we're gonna take these apart today, break them down, see how it goes, and we'll see what we get out of it. First, we're gonna start with this Kenmore Power Miser at 9. Got some nice copper and brass on there like earlier. There's our temperature relief valve, our temperature thermostat box, some copper, some aluminum. The drain isn't brass, but that's okay. So we're gonna start with this one, and let's start with getting this copper and brass off. Got our pipe wrench. Let's pull these off. Pretty nice, pretty nice. See, they usually don't have that much stuff left on them. Usually it's just like that, if anything. The bottom half. Well, let's make sure it's off first before we take it off. All right, there's the second one. Uh-oh. Then we'll get off this pressure valve. This one looks like it could be red brass. Sometimes they're yellow, so always scratch them, make sure. Here's your pressure relief valve. Then we're gonna pull off our thermostat box, this copper, that aluminum line, and then we'll pull out the burner. All right, now let's get this thermostat box off. First, we're gonna get this aluminum pipe out of the way, and we'll cut off this copper line. These two pieces are brass right up in here, but sometimes this one's steel, so you won't want to take that off. We'll just leave it on, and then we'll take off the steel pipe. If we can get in there. That's gonna be a pain. So instead, we'll just cut it off with the hacksaw. This won't take very long. All right, that part's off. It smells like gas. Here's a plate. And here is our burner assembly. Now let's get off this box. You're gonna need your hammer. Now just a heads up, usually just plastic and stuff will fly off, so make sure they don't hit you in the eye. There we go. Some brass. Copper. So this is a double one. This is one I probably usually wouldn't take off. I just leave it on for breakage because this isn't worth it to me. But I always take these off. So there's the first one. Now let's get on to the second one. Second one, we got the valve on top. This is made by Rheem. They also make air conditioners and stuff. So let's see how fast we can tear this one down. Sometimes these are stainless steel, but they'll look all crinkly and stuff. Steel ones are always smooth. And you can tell just by looking at them. Where's my hammer? There's the second one. Oh wow, wet. Next, let's clean up this copper and brass because this is some good stuff here. So we'll start with this one. Let's get this valve thing off, the handle. All right, this one's cast aluminum. It's pretty light. So now let's get this valve off the brass, or off the copper. Get our killer bandsaw out again. All right, there's a piece of number 2. Cut off the valve on this side. Nice valve. I got a little bit of solder here. Let's get that off. All right, there's piece number 2. Let's get this brass off the end. Oh man, we cut into the brass a bit. That's all right. So there's our brass. Now this can go as number 1, but I'll probably file some of that off before I bring it in. Next up, we'll do the second half. This one's even nicer. It's got some more brass on there. This has got a spring in there and this piece of steel, so we'll have to take that off later. And all right, let's clean this up. Nice piece of number 2. Piece of steel here. So let's try this, the angle trick. If it's too long, we'll put it on an angle. Missing our pipe for our pipe wrench. Let's see if it'll work. Yep. A little bit more. All right, there's that piece of steel. Oh, let's see. Unscrew this part. We'll put that in our to-do pile, along with our done pile. What's really going on? Now we'll cut off this piece of copper, piece of number 2. And there we go. So here's how we did. We got our 2 water tanks. Here's our 2 thermostats. We can break these down, get some brass out of there, some copper, a little bit of wire. We're not going to do that today. We're not going to micro scrap it because we just took one apart in the other video. We don't want to be repetitive. Here is our copper. Here is our brass. Like I said, we're not going to micro scrap everything today. That's for another day. And then here is our burners. A couple pieces of brass, copper pipe, aluminum line, and And there's a little piece of brass down in there. Like I said, we'll micro scrap that another day. But there we go. 2 water heaters.